Welcome to the first ever video on this channel. I hope you like this video and consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy what you see here. Now, time for what you're here for. The Spanish Conquest of the Aztec Empire. By the way, I know I'm going to pronounce a bunch of names wrong, so please don't get mad at me. In 1517, the Spanish arrived in Mexico, discovering its existence and finding the Aztec Empire to be there. In 1519, Hernan Cortés set sail to begin the conquest of the Aztec Empire. He made alliances with tributary city-states of the Aztec Empire and also the empire's political rivals, particularly the Texcocans and Tlaxcalcata, former Aztec Triple Alliance members. This war was extremely one-sided and had huge losses on the side of the natives, but less than 5,000 on the side of the Spanish. This war was also extremely important in world history because imagine if Spain never controlled huge portions of South America. Think of all the silver that poured into Europe, then around the rest of the world. It changed the entire economies. But I'm not going to tell a narrative of this war because there are dozens of ways to find something like that, and I will leave some in the description of this video. Instead, I will give you some interesting pieces of information regarding this war. There are some occurrences that the Aztecs interpreted as omens of the tragedy that later occurred, including a column of fire that appeared in 1517 and seemed to rain fire, a lightning bolt that struck a straw temple, and a two-headed man named Tlacantzoli running down the streets. Though some historians believe that these were just made up after the fact and were only there to help explain how those who lost. Like if you said your homework burnt in a fire because you were too lazy to actually do it, except with more heads. Another thing to note is that there were less than 5,000 Spanish soldiers, though there were up to 200,000 Tlaxcala soldiers in the war on their side, compared to the 300,000 Aztec soldiers, showing that better technology and European diseases really decided the war. This war also had a severe impact on the Aztec people because the few Aztecs who remained were widely scattered, and the war along with diseases nearly brought the Aztecs to extinction. The Aztec Empire was extremely powerful in the Americas, and if the New World and Old World civilizations were switched around, the Aztec Empire would be the French or British empires, as they were extremely powerful and influential in Europe like the Aztecs were in South America. This war was only the start of many wars that the Spanish later had against the Native Americans, including the conquest of the Yucatan Peninsula. As you can tell, I skipped a lot of the main parts of the war, and that is because my goal with this channel for the meantime isn't to tell a chronological story of all the details in a war or historical event, but to give you a view of what that war or event is like, so you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to dig into it and do your own research on the subject or just shrug and move on. My future videos will also be longer than this because I'm trying just to get used to making these videos, especially the animation. So with that said, if you like this video, then consider leaving a like, and if you want more of this, then subscribe to the channel. All the sources I used and some places you can go to learn more about this will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And goodbye.